Sometimes in my life, it's felt overwhelming to be dealing with the things I had to deal with. And I even feel that way sometimes now, like in my current life. I'm like, I get so stressed out, overwhelmed, stretched thin, overworked. I'm not good at relaxing. I'm 43 and I had to start on high blood pressure medications. And that should not be the case. So, you know what thought brings me the most comfort and reminds me that every little thing gonna be all right? It's my own awareness that I can change my situation, that I have the power to change my life. I might not be able to change the world, and I might not be able to change everything. But if there's something in my life that brings me grief and trouble, that I can pay attention to that and not punish myself. That I can be kind to myself, that I could choose to love myself. And I won't betray my own happiness anymore. Like, I spent a lot of my life when I was younger trying to be a good girl, trying to be successful, trying to fit in, trying to stand out too. But, so much of what I did was based on what society thought a good life looks like. So that's why I work so hard in school and in my career, is because society said that's what successful people do. And successful people are safe, lovable, you get money, you get security. If you have traditional successes by society's standards. Those things didn't actually make me happy. Like, they were temporary ego boosts, for sure. When I got the White House internship, that was a big ego boost. But I'll always be proud of the fact that I was able to accomplish that. But I know that doesn't define my worth as a human being. That just defined how hard I could work, or how good I could write an essay, how good I could fill out an application, like, so much of what society thinks makes a life worthy isn't actually the truth. What makes a life worthy? Well, all lives matter because they exist. But the lives that are authentic and oriented towards growth and evolution, not stagnation. The lives that involve lifelong, life-wide learning, that's a rich life. But being able to just enjoy your life is the true measure of wealth. Like, do you enjoy your life? Can you enjoy your life even when it's hard? That's a challenge. I've started to be able to feel that way. Like, even though I have to take high blood pressure medications and my life is overwhelming and stressful, and I don't know if all this hard work will ever pay off for anybody, including myself, I'm doing what I love doing. I feel like I'm trying to help make the world a better place. What work could be more important than that? I get to work in fields that I really care about. And I work for myself now, and I don't even work for money most of the time. I have been the worst solopreneur. I couldn't even figure out how to charge basic money. I did everything for free. Like, here, have this. Or, oh, sure, you want me to do it? Okay, no problem. Like, I was from government where I never asked for it. I mean, I just got a regular paycheck, and even there was no negotiating, really, anything. It was just you get what you get for that job. And you may never get promoted, So in government, you got what you got. But it was regular and it was fair. But I spent 15 years of my adult life, like half a career, just never having to really ask for money for my labor or my value. And so I never was very good at developing that skill. So now I have someone helping me. Now I have someone putting together packages and offerings and making me profesh, making my website look good and all that. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share those thoughts on what are we doing here? What do we want to be doing here? I would think if we're stuck on this island in the vast expanse of space, we're stuck. We're stuck with each other. We can kill each other, or we're stuck with each other, or we can live at a distance peacefully. That's a really good option right there for the people who can't get along. Stop interacting. Just end the war, end the violence, Just let it go. Move on. We're a very diverse bunch of people on planet Earth. We come in all different shades of variety, and that's what makes us better and more robust and more interesting. But some of us just aren't going to get along. That's just the nature of reality. So I wish humans would figure out how to stop killing each other. It's so caveman. It's so caveman. And for me, it's unnatural. I know in some ways, violence is a natural animal response. Because if you look at what animals do, many of them engage in acts of violence towards each other. We are animals. I think part of what happened to human beings is we got civilized and it made us out of touch with the laws of nature. That's what being civilized is. It's not being an animal. But we are animals. But we're also something more than animals, aren't we? Yeah. We're something more than animals. Probably. Maybe we're something less than animals, too. Because honestly, we're doing more damage to planet Earth than any other species. Humanity just needs to do better. The reality I'm begrudgingly beginning to accept, and I don't want to accept it, is that the nature of life is to take from other life forms. Think about it. We have to eat. We have to consume. Every living creature has to consume. Are there any that don't? And what are they consuming? Well, other life forms. And death and birth, and it's all just part of life. Starts and ends. And now we're in this weird world where maybe death will go away. Physical death, we can stave it off. And we're going to be able to keep death away for hundreds of years because of tech. That's the science fiction movie that we're going to be living in. If you make it to 2029, 5 years from now, humanity will figure out basically indefinite life extension by that point. If you don't believe me, check out Ray Kurzweil. Everybody should be following Ray Kurzweil. If you want to mentally prepare yourself for the world that is coming, you got to follow the futurists. That's what that is called. I've been following Ray Kurzweil and Martine Rothblatt as my favorite futurists for many years. Nowadays, Martine's a friend of mine, which is so cool. It's a bizarre world we live in, by the way. The things we can manifest, The things we can manifest. We manifest all the time. Just, I think most people are unconscious that they're doing it. We do create our reality with the way we think. It's not, some people are we create our reality with our thoughts. It's the thoughts that make it happen. But the thought precedes action. Thinking on some level, intelligent action or even unintelligent action requires some level of intelligence. Anyway, to get back to my point, I've come to the reluctant, begrudgingly accepted, don't want to believe it reality that for us to live, something else has to die. And also along that road, if you want something better, you have to let go of the thing that you're leaving. And a lot of us have trouble leaving. Even things we don't like, things that are broken, we struggle to let go. We struggle to change. Change requires learning. And so a lot of people don't like to deal with change, not because it's change. It's not that change itself is inherently good or bad. Change is neutral. But the reason many people resist change, especially the older and older they get, is because they've lost the ability to learn. And change feels very draining, an uphill battle when you've gotten used to not learning. So that's why I promote polymathy, lifelong, life-wide learning. It's like your brain is a muscle, and if you don't use it, you lose it. You got to exercise your brain. And the way you do that is through thinking. Thinking. What is thinking? It's not repetition. Memorization is a kind of thinking, but it's a very blunt one. Actual thinking, the best kind of actual thinking for me, is when you have brand new, original, creative thought, and it's true. No one thought it before, but you came up with it. That is the most beautiful kind of thought for me. I just love that kind of a thought. And when it's brilliant, even better. That's thinking. We need to be able to think now more than ever. Our world is really struggling. There's so much hope and so much potential in the new world. The world with AI, with indefinite life extension, with universal basic income. The world is going to be great. But to get from the old world to the new world, there's gonna be a gap. There's gonna be a gap where if you didn't prepare for a rainy day, if you didn't learn a bunch of skills, if you don't maintain the ability to think, your life is going to be real hard during this transition. Because the safety nets that should be there aren't really there enough. The values that should be guiding us aren't there yet. The proper, right, ethical, moral value. We're still running on greed and fear and control and power. And in the new world, the intelligent world, the world runs on love, cooperation, intelligence, creativity, innovation, integration, holistic thinking. The new world is a science fiction movie, and it's going to be awesome. The trouble is the transition. And I don't know how long this transition will, I don't know how long till we have new systems in place where people are really taken care of. I'm really worried about humanity in this transition. Because a lot of people bought into the age of specialization. And if your job gets automated and all you ever knew how to do was that one thing, you're going to be up shit's creek. You got to learn broadly, and you got to keep learning. In the new world, it's too crazy to be a bump on a log. The world is too intense, and change. Oh God, people, one of the things I'd like to convey, if I could tell you something I really want you to remember, is the way tech advances is on an exponential curve. And we're in the steep curve now. So change is going to be happening rapidly and drastically. Prepare yourselves mentally to live in a science fiction movie. And it's going to be awesome when it's finished and it's all happening and it's all running and we have world peace and everyone's basic needs are met. And we figure out our economy and we figure out global warming. And we figure out how to fix education and healthcare, and where we stop punishing people and we just keep the people who are unsafe stored away and we treat them like, human beings. And we keep society safe from the psychopaths and the sociopaths and the people who just can't get along. But we don't punish per se. I don't think government should be in the business of punishing. In fact, the whole symbol of the justice symbol is balance, fairness, compassion, being measured and being cool. And our justice system is not cool. In America, we mass incarcerate here more than we have more prisoners than any country on earth. And America is 5% of the population, but we have 1/4 of planet Earth's incarcerated here. America's values are bad. America's going down the tubes, and America kind of deserves it. I'm sorry to say. I love my country, but our government has done a lot of harm to us here, and we've let them get away with an humanitarian crisis, which is our criminal justice system. And also, they're not a high-performing organization, and we're giving them like 1/3 of our incomes, and some of us more. Like some people are paying like even higher tax rates. But when you're paying an entity that much money, you'd expect like a really great product, right? Like really great services. But our government's gotten greedy and lazy. They take our money and they deliver subpar services. They mass incarcerate our citizens. They punish the mentally ill, the poverty-stricken, the addicted. They punish them with the real criminals. 3 things that should never ever be monetized and financialized for profit, for business. It's healthcare, justice, and education. Those are 3 things that need to remain on point. And let me tell you a real important thing. The U.S. Constitution tells us we deserve the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life is healthcare. Liberty is prison. And the pursuit of happiness is education. Our country allows life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness only for some of us. Those who can afford it, who can participate in the economy in the way they like, then those people might have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But there are many Americans who do not have, proper health care, life, a fair justice system, liberty, and a reliable, good, strong education system that prepares people for the crazy future. That's the pursuit of happiness, learning, becoming better. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are not guaranteed in America. No. Don't mind what the Constitution says. And the kicker of it all is that it's our very government that has victimized us. So I have a hard time even wanting to pay attention to the presidential election here, because I just know, well, either way, whoever wins, it's going down the tubes here. Those old broken machines don't work. We need new models. We need new systems. We need new thinking. Not the same kind of thinking that got us into this mess. We need new thinking. We need polymaths. We need to bring together the greatest polymathic minds we can find. And we need to do some problem solving. We need to do some polymathic method, which I created. We need to identify a strategic plan for humanity. And it needs to be smart, it needs to be humane, it needs to be intelligent and adaptive and modern and efficient and tech savvy and all the things that the current governments around the world are not. And it could probably be relatively small, super affordable, and make all our needs get met. We have enough resources on planet Earth for everybody to get their basic needs met. We could do it. It is possible. It is feasible, for sure. But we don't. Well, why? Well, our systems have incentivized greed. And that's a fear-based ethos. It's choosing fear over love. As long as humanity keeps making decisions based on fear, we're going to stay in a hell on earth. When we start collectively choosing the path of love, all the good things, the good feelings, we make a heaven on earth. Jesus told us. He told us what to do. Treat other people like you want to be treated. Forgive other people when they fuck up. You gotta forgive them. The other way just does harm when you won't forgive the fuck ups, when you won't accept it happen, move on, you know. What else did Jesus tell us? Be a good person. Be moral. Be ethical. Be considerate. It was so basic. It was like so basic and obvious, but like humanity still can't do it. Still can't do it. Still can't take the high road. So I'm just along for the ride, you know. I can't make humanity pick anything. If this planet implodes and we nuke ourselves to death, or AI does something to fuck us over, and we regress and we lose our electric, and oh God, we got to turn to caveman. If that happens, we did it to ourselves. It's time to be intelligent.